we've got 5 minutes left, and what I want to do is have people take a look at this really amazing article that The Economist has placed. And
by the way, I've posted a link in the notes.
So this is The Economist with the first ever college rankings based upon earnings. And in the US and now worldwide, everybody is sort of playing the game of US News and World Report. And that is a college ranking system that is generally done by a combination of surveys of leadership teams at these colleges and universities, and some people from outside, but also taking a look at data, at some data. Now, in the US, what's been really interesting is, if you take a look down at the article, is the US Department of Education unveiled this college scorecard on a website, which contains all kinds of quantitative data on universities, including student pay, the year out, and issues of loans and location, and it's a really great big data site. And of course, when you have more data and more information and more transparency about that data, you can use all kinds of analysis. Now, The Economist, their rankings, and if you go down here, you'll see what I'm highlighting. Let me just highlight it on the screen here. This paragraph's really the key to the whole argument. The Economist created a college ranking system based on this premise. The economic value of a university is equal to the gap between how much money the graduates earn and how much they might have made had they studied elsewhere. So it's looking at really the value added piece. And you're going to ask yourself a question, well, how did they figure out what students could earn if they went to other schools? Well, what they did is they matched up not only the other places students apply, but people who kind of fit their profile using these SAT scores. And then they did multiple, in statistics, they did multiple kinds of regressions, which means that they controlled for certain things to see whether those particular characteristics impacted these earnings. And you know, you know, some of their rankings, some of the things that they use to develop the score system are a little squishy, like this Marks and Marley index, which is based on the college's appearance in the Princeton Review list for whether there's a lot of political leftism and where they lie on the political spectrum, and a few other pieces. And so, but what this actually does is it's the first attempt to create a value-added listing for the colleges. And in terms of what they are going to make in their, what they've paid, what they're going to make in their beginning part of their career, and then what the, based on cost, and what the median earnings they have about 10 years off. So you can kind of, this figure here, if you go to the name of the school, and then you go to the over and under, this figure here is really the value added, okay? What value did they add to the degree based on the education that's there? Now, remember that it's not only the classes people are taking, but there are also social network pieces. And what's really, really interesting is, you know, the schools that don't appear on a whole lot of lists in terms of being, you know, top-notch institutions. Now, of course, we have Harvard up here, and they tend to appear a lot, but look at what's in the top 10. Alderson Broaddus University. I've never heard of it, but you know, they're in the top 10 in terms of value added for their students. You know, California State University, Bakersfield, and some of these others. And what's great is you can take a look at, you can type in any university, almost any university in the country, and you can see that, you know, expected earnings and the median earnings and the value added to that school. Now, what's interesting is if you start to take a look at the price differential. If you are a senior, or you are thinking a senior in high school, or you're thinking about going to a particular university as a non-traditional student, or anyone, what you should do is you should compare the price that you're paying for tuition and the difference in price between the institutions that you are accepted to, and what actually the return on this kind of investment is. And you'll be able to make a decision about, well, what's the thing that's going to help me the most economically according to the model. So it's a lot better way of potentially choosing a college that you're going to get accepted to, instead of just, wow, that's got a great reputation and I really like X. I really like I really like X because it is, I like the facilities. Those are all important things about, going to college, but are they really worth, a price differential of anywhere between 10 and 20,000? I can't resist. I've got to do this. So I went to a place called Middlebury College. Okay. So interestingly enough, if we were to Middlebury College in Vermont, okay, rank 281. It's usually ranked in terms of liberal arts schools in the top 20, and it's actually, its value added, okay, is only about 2,383. One of the reasons being is because the tuition is so high, which is the tuition now is jumping up about 50,000. So Middlebury College, and then if you look at, University of Vermont. Okay, so if you look at the return, you see that Middlebury returns 2, UVM returns almost 7. That is going to drive, that may drive a different choice of Vermonters in terms of where they want to go to school, and people from outside. So yeah, check it out. It's a great article. It's going to be, this data set that's now been offered is going to be a huge source of research and arguments in higher ed, and about what actually works in higher ed and what doesn't. And again, you can make these ratios. This is, again, dealing with cost and what a person's expected earnings are later on. If you were to take courses at Oplerno and transfer those courses into credits to your institution, you can actually make that ratio even work better for you, which is one of the ways of, one of the things that we're really excited about Oplerno, is people taking transfer credits and working with other institutions, Burlington College and others, to really improve the return, both intellectually and also financially, of their college education. So check all of that out. It's a great article. And if you've got any comments about that, please let me know.